All right, good morning. If you can hear me well, let me know in the chat below. It is Monday. It is 8:47. I apologize for the delay on the live stream. Okay, so let me clear out some of the stuff here so we can get started. Figure out what let me just mark one more thing here. And then we can take this off and start talking about what we have today. Let's pull up the calendar for a second. This is what we've got going on today, which is not much. Everything happened at 8:30. For the rest of the day, it's looking like there's not anything. Tomorrow, like same, there's not much happening. Consumer confidence, that might be a good one at 10 a.m. for tomorrow, but not expecting much today. But with that, we can always look for setups, right? Wednesday, we got crude oil. And for the rest of the week, nothing crazy. So just keep that in mind as we go into this week. There's no news really pushing any of the market for this week, unless you're trading crude oil. So that's that. If you are trading, if you're using ES and NQ, the futures and stuff for, your just stock market. Here's some of the earnings that we have. We don't have any crazy earnings today. Nothing. On Wednesday, we have Nvidia. Nvidia is a big boy. This one's gonna be something that I'm gonna be looking out for after close. So after 4:30, we could start to see something happening here. And then we got Best Buy on Thursday. Lululemon, I don't know, last time I checked, they weren't doing so well, but that was a while back. All right. And there is that. Okay, so I'm checking the delay here. Everything looks good so far. Let me move my screen. Let me move myself out of this if I can. If it'll let me. What is happening? Okay, here we go. There we go. Boom. Let me get out of here. Okay. Let me make myself a lot smaller. Can we all see that? Okay. So we're going to be looking at NASDAQ NQ and the symbol for that. So it's going to be NQ on your futures, and we'll be looking at that one. If you're able to pull up a second chart, that's great. We're going to be looking at ES, which is the E-mini S&P 500. And the only reason we do that is just to see if we have any kind of divergence, or if there's something that doesn't look right in between both of these assets. They both move pretty much together. So if you look over here, like it's very, very identical. So seeing some of these divergences between these two helps us identify, potential moves and stuff like that. So we created a gap here, so very similar. Something to keep in mind if you're not doing this already. So yesterday's pre-market for Sunday, we we talked about, we looked from the monthly down to the to actually down to the minute. So we talked about what we might want to see, right? We're looking at some of these like pullbacks, right? This is going to take a while, but just something to keep in mind. It could happen. Doesn't mean it has to happen. It could happen. And we just have to be open to the idea that if that does happen, we need to sort of shift what our bias, right? I try to come into the market without a bias, and that's been really good. So without thinking, oh well, yesterday was green, or it's gonna be green. I try to think of it like, okay, cool. Yesterday happened. What is the market showing me today, and can I take advantage of it? So we talked about this being a potential pullback into medium threshold, which is you know halfway of this whole move here around this area. And in here we have a sort of fair value gap. We have our previous all-time highs here before moving down. So doesn't have to go there, but it could. Same thing on the weekly, right? We covered basically this full range on the weekly, which gives me a little bit of confidence of maybe we can keep going a little bit higher. And it's just kind of looking at the obvious things, like what happened, what's been happening on the daily. Let's look at kind of where we're at now, right? So we we made all-time highs, and then we started coming lower, and everybody remembers this, right? It was just like dump dump every single day for a couple weeks. Then we had this huge, just like, I was I we I mean, I thought this was just gonna go low and low and low. Anyways, so then we have we came back up here, took out this high here. Let me change this. Took out this high. So we took out this high here on ES and on NQ, which is pretty important because that was basically our trigger to the downside for uh, these 3 days afterwards, right? Like we had this kind of fake move, this fake grind to the upside, and then would automatically just like triggered so quickly to the downside. So we have this high time frame sweep here. Now notice this one. This is the kind of stuff that I'm looking at, right? So there's another sweep that happened up here on ES, right? Another high time frame sweep. So we can get rid of this one. This is our most recent sweep here. And let's see, did NASDAQ has not taken that. So we don't have a sweep here. We have a sweep here. This, to me, this is where I start to kind of look at these things and say, okay, something could happen, right? So here I'm looking at it like this. All right, we have an SMT. An SMT is just basically, ES made ES took this high here, this high swing, and NASDAQ couldn't do it. So there's basically, it's just like, this is just the difference between what happened between these two assets. If you have a better definition, please let me know. Let me know right on the comments. I've heard it called smart money trap, which actually makes a lot more sense to me. SMT, where smart money basically comes in and tries to trap traders before moving lower, right? So this would be a bearish SMT. If it like this, let's see, this would have been a bullish SMT from, this is a hidden SMT right here. So we have, no, that's not it. No, we didn't take that. See, this one's a hidden SMT. But obviously we didn't go higher. We had this we had a bunch of SMTs way up here. Anyways, that's, in short, that's what I'm looking for. in an SMT. Okay, so I'm looking to take these highs up here, right? That's what I'm looking for today. Can we take these highs? Clearly, ES already took these highs, and so when we take a high, I'm looking for an entry model. It's a a market maker model to the sell side, where we talked about this on yesterday's live stream. Let's look at halfway of this of this whole daily move up is around this area. What's around this area? We also have um the low of this weekly opening gap that happened back in June. Now we could go here. My first target to aim for is going to be here, right? This is sort of a low hanging fruit for the daily chart, would be right here. So I want to see if we can hit this. Now we also have on ES, we have this, right? So we're almost in between, like, okay, where do we go? Do we want to go higher, or do we want to come back and start, taking out some of this stuff? Or coming back to some of these PD arrays, like this fair value gap here, right, on the daily chart, or do we want to take out all-time highs before moving down? Um, Again, just need to see price action and see how that moves and see what it does as we go through the day. Okay, moving down to our 4-hour chart. This is what we have. We have obvious points, right? So we're generating liquidity to the downside. Here's our high time frame sweep. Now, this is why I like to mark some of these things. Maybe not everything. So let's take this off. This, I don't need it right now because we're not close to it. This, I don't need it because we're not close to it. This might be good to mark out. We have sort of all of these relative equal highs. We already took that one technically, but then we have these two. So I won't mark them just because I can see them. But then we have all-time highs here. Oh, what is happening? All right, we have all-time high right there. This is going to be good for me to keep in mind, right? All-time highs. Let me actually switch it to one of these numbers here. Yeah, okay. I just started using this ray tool, or is that what it's called? Yeah, this ray tool. Okay, so this is going to be all-time high. And we'll just leave it like that. Okay. So then we have our all-time high there. So now we can see all of that, right? We have this liquidity here, this 0.1, 2, 3, 4, right? Even if this was just like a weird candle ranging up and down, we remember that. So we have that here on NQ. These are points that I'm looking at, and I'm waiting for them to be taken, right? I was like, okay, this is about to just take everything. But then we got this grind to the upside, where here's another thing, like NQ has not done that. NQ hasn't fully broken above this fair value gap. Technically, yes, here with this, but it wicked and came back down, and we haven't technically broken above. All right, down to the 1 hour. Let's clear up some of this stuff. Okay. So we have a high time frame sweep, right? That's a high point of interest for me. So I'm looking, okay, now we're in a point of interest. After we sweep, it's basically like a trigger for me to just mental trigger to say, okay, now we can start looking, like actively looking for entries and models forming that will tell us where it wants to go, right? We didn't have much all throughout. We didn't have much here, nothing happening here, right? This, we didn't have much, like all of this. And then we remember this drop, and we didn't, it was just like, this was a lot of stuff happening here too. I don't, like I said, I don't expect much for today, but let's dive into it. So, okay, now so to be completely honest, I'm trading a prop firm here. So I'll be trading, if there's something that presents itself, I'll go ahead and just take a model to trade. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's why. Okay. So some key things to kind of look out for that I started marking out, and it helps a lot too. It's just marking Asia high and Asia low. So looking at the sessions for Asia and London. London's still going on, but I like to mark the pre-market. If there's a low, then I'll mark it out before 9:30, and that just gives me a point of reference to look at, right? So for example, yesterday we're still ranging within London's session low, high and low, or sorry, just the high, because we took out the London low here. So we're still ranging here, and this could be another point that I want to mark out just to keep in reference. So previous day London high, and there's another previous day London high, but we're not going to mark that yet because we're not close to it. All right. So I mentioned on the live stream yesterday too what I want to see the market doing for today. And I want to see us take, and this is exactly what happened. I said I want to see us take this right here, right? If we can take this out on ES here, then I want to see us basically create an SMT here, right around here. Now we haven't done that yet. So we haven't created an SMT because, again, this point is higher, this point is lower. So technically not yet, right? But it's, if we can get above this, and if we can take out this high on ES, then we'll have an SMT. That just gives me a little bit more confirmation on on this high time frame sweep here, right? Because now we're looking at a big model. So instead of looking in the 1 minute, right, and it's like, all right, well, clearly this is going up, I can go back and look at my overall model. Like, where are we on this move, right? So if you know about market maker models, there's a buy side and a sell side that happens within this model, right? So think of it as a curve. So you have one side of a curve, right, which is a sell side, and then you have the other side of the curve, which is a buy side. What we're looking for is basically a reversal here, right? And this is what happened. If you look in here, there is a reversal. You have, structure up, breaks, then you have your manipulation move here, and before you go up higher, if you measure this manipulation move, I think it's this one. Yeah, it takes you to 1.5 standard deviations, which is this high point, which we took, a couple days after. So we have this high time frame sweep, right? I want to see us. Okay, now this is where I can start being like, all right, let's see if we can get more confirmation to the downside, and that's the whole point. Like, can we add more confirmation? Can we add more confirmation to our trade, to what we are seeing, and be ready to change your bias? Like, it's you're just watching price. I'm just watching price, and honestly, this is a talk to me. Like, this is a talk for myself. I need to just watch price, figure out where it's going, figure out what it's doing, and just roll with it. I'm not trying to, again, we can't force the market. So, right here we had this big down candle. People were probably getting in, and now they're getting out. Sure, like, this might be, if you got in up here, and that's awesome. I think this is still valid for some more downside, right? You got this huge fair value gap. We're still ranging within it. This is another thing. We're inside a 4-hour fair value gap, right? So we went down inside a 4-hour fair value gap. That gives me more confidence to get in a trade. If we were down here, if we didn't sweep this high, and we were inside of this fair value gap looking for downside, I don't know that I'd be really convinced, right? But now we have a high time frame sweep, which is right here, high time frame point of interest. We have a sweep, right? We don't have market structure yet, but here's another point. Now we have a sweep, and now we're ranging inside a 4-hour fair value gap. So that's two things that I'm looking at, and I'm like, okay, now we're starting to see something. Now we can start to look for specific models. So now that we know that, let's I'm gonna keep this here, and let's do 4-hour. Oh man, yeah, here we go. 4-hour FEG. All right, and we know we're in it, right? Let's go to our 15-minute for a second. I'm gonna take off these sessions because we already marked them, so we don't need them anymore. Now, what am I looking at? Okay, there's a few things. Now I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, is there a model happening here or not? So we have and this is one of those things where I want to be picky and be like, I need to see more market structure, but then at the same time I have these high time frame confluences, and sometimes you just need to get in the trade and just if things form right. So for example, we have a, where's my brush? We have a low here, right? We have a low here. All of this is it's sort of noise to me, right? If we do have a model that plays out right here, then I'm looking either to create a new low, right? I'm looking for this model to create a new low, or for this model to take out this low. When it takes out this low on the higher time frame, that gives me a little bit more confidence. We're still looking for some downside, right? So my bias right now is still can we move? Can we move lower from where we're at now? So I'm looking for. I really just want to wait and sit here, and wait till ES takes this high up here. I want ES to take London's high, and this point of liquidity. That gives me another layer of confirmation that maybe we can start going lower, right? And after, because look, after we take that, let's go back to the 1 hour. After we take that, we are here into this fair value gap, right? If we go that high, so let's look at just ES for a moment. Let's go daily. Do we have a daily? Yep. So look at this. This helps me kind of, okay. If we take this out, if we take this high, right? Then we most certainly will be inside of this fair value gap, this daily fair value gap for ES. That's another. So then we have high time frame bearish fair value gap that has not been traded into before. This would be the very first time. That's number one. Then we have a huge SMT, right? That's number two. Then we have another intermediate SMT in here with NQ and ES. That's number three. So again, it's like, can I stack some of these things into my favor? Yes. Here's my risk on this trade, right? Would be right maybe midpoint of this whole above this candle, right? So maybe right up here. Obviously not for the daily, but if we're looking at a 15-minute. What I'm saying is like my risk is pretty small. So if we move into here, then I know, okay, cool. Now we're in, we can look for an entry here on ES or NQ, whichever one you want, because we know we have all of these things working in our favor. Now, how can this thing go up higher? Well, we did have this pullback here into this fair value gap, right? We traded this, then we went up higher. So this can also keep going. It can run right through and it can come up here taking out all-time highs. If it does that, again, that's why we have stops, right? Like let's just put a stop here, figure out where we're trading and just go with it. I try not to move my stop. Once I set it, I let it do its thing. If I get stopped out, like I actually did move my stop once, last week, and it felt odd, right? Because I afterwards I was like, man, why did I move my stop? Like why did I take off this trade, right? I think that's what I did. Took off the trade because it was going against me, and for some weird reason I was like, this isn't gonna work out, and automatically I took off that trade. I was just scared, and the trade went my way, but I wasn't in it anymore. I took off I took it off, and honestly, it wasn't a big amount. I was just I listened to my feelings more than anything. And so my goal with this live stream is to help me hear my thoughts and process as things are happening. I know that if I can help, if this helps you, and if we can kind of look at things together and say, man, this is something that, I'm I'm watching, I'm seeing, and I don't understand this, or if I don't understand something and somebody does, then that's, that to me, that's awesome, and that's why we should do this. So anyways, here we are. Let's take a look. Okay, so here, this is another interesting thing. So right now the market isn't really working together around this area. And if you look here, we have that low and we have a lower low. This low right here, this and this is an SMT, a bullish SMT. So then we can do something like this, mark this. We can go SMT here. And this is like another one of those things where it's like, basically like, okay, there's something that's not aligning correctly between these two, and we can look to take, you know, not take an entry, but like use this as confluence if you're trying to trade to a specific direction, right? Or just be aware of it. Like, just be aware, like, hey, there is an SMT there. Um, we have this SMT here, right? Do we have it on the 2 hour? Yeah, it's there. We have it on the 4 hour. You know, all of these things. This is kind of what I'm looking at, and just trying to figure out, okay, how does it react? What what does it do with the when it's there, right? Um, Asia low. So right now we're wicking through Asia low, or wicking above Asia low, where we haven't taken out Asia low here on ES. And that's another thing. It's like, okay, well, we're holding above Asia high on ES, and we took out Asia low on NQ, holding above it. Can't seem to break below or close fully below. Sorry, open below. Um, do we want to take these highs? Do we want to go into this PD array, into this fair value gap, right? I want to see us do, even if we do this, right? Even if we break below, I think ultimately, today I'm just looking at, oops, where are we? Boom, boom, boom. I'm looking at ES to come into this fair value gap. I think that's the plan for today. Let's watch for ES to come into the fair value gap. We could also see a model here on NQ that I would take into London high. So if we were able to come and take London high for NQ, that would be awesome. Once we do that, again, just SMT, high time frame, point of interest into a fair value gap, took out high time frame liquidity, creates a model to the downside. What are we expecting to do to take out all of these lows at some point, right? That, because this would be a run that would be easy for the market to do. I need some eye drops. Hold on. All right. Um, guys, I'm gonna. Okay. I think I'm gonna listen to music while I just sit here and wait. All right. Okay. Oh, let me turn this down. No, I don't. Oh, you'll hear some shouting, yelling, and stuff in the background. Don't mind it. Everything is okay. So we are trading with $100,000 account. This is from My Funded Futures. This is a challenge. So okay, let's determine our like just our intermediate bias right now, right? Even though, oh my gosh, this is so slow right now again. Even though, let me turn this off. This is not working. Yeah, that wasn't working very well. Okay. Okay, here we go. So even though we've been grinding higher, right? We're getting, oh, here we go. Look at this. ES is about to take some of these highs. That's exactly like, it's exactly what I wanted to see. Once we take those highs, as soon as we do that, and I want to see it do it with sort of a nice candle to the upside. Once we take those highs, that to me is a great confirmation to start looking for an entry to the downside. What does that mean for NQ? NQ could at the same time, like it could start just, if I have a reversal like model on ES, I'll take it on NQ, right? NQ could at some point even like come up here to um oh my gosh, okay. It could come up here, take this fair value gap while ES is making its own model here in this fair value gaps, right? So we could even tap into this before moving lower. And if I'm more confident in ES making a model today than I would NQ, if that makes sense. So you notice sometimes this like ES or NQ won't make a model and they'll just like rip to the other side, right? This is what I would be expecting today is for ES to make its own market maker model, and NQ basically NQ would be basically following ES. Typically, I'll see ES following NQ sort of thing, if that makes sense. But today, I have a little bit more confidence in ES. I think it can get the job done. Oh, also, if you, I need to post this on X. Hold on. Boom. Boom. Yep. Yep. Let me. Whatever. Okay. SPY close to record highs. Guys, I don't. Yeah, it's close. NQ is not close. That's what, I don't know. Could it get there? Oh, absolutely. I don't think it will. I think we're gonna see a huge divergence between ES and NQ. Right? We're seeing that here already. So now we just sit and wait. That's literally what we're gonna do. Just sit and wait and see if we can get an entry to the downside. Entry to the downside. Okay. I'm gonna go. Let's go the 1 minute for a second. Now that we know what we're looking at on the high time frame, let's see if we find something here. So, and I talked about this too. I said I want to sort of practice today in scaling in, managing some of this risk while still trading. So I'm not just not trading, right? Like I'm still trading. And I'll take some of these trades, some like 1 minute, 30-second like entries, uh, just quick sort of scalps. Here's another SMT, right? This is a 1 minute SMT, so I wouldn't count that as anything crazy, but here's another one. It's bearish. Okay, cool. That's good to know. So technically we haven't broken structure up, like we haven't really. So now we have relative equals highs here. That's what that is, isn't it? Yeah, to the tick. Yeah, these are equal highs right here. So just waiting. There's nothing here for me. As much as I probably would have really and wanted to just take something, right? Like before I would just take a trade like for no reason. And now I've actually found myself, if I do get an urge to just like get in the trade for just to see what happens, which is so stupid, I'll just paper trade it. Like I'll just get in and I'll do like 15 contracts and just boom, see where that account goes. Um I wouldn't, but yeah, it's it's a lot to mentally. It's a lot to learn. It's a lot of self-discipline mentally, and it can be a little bit difficult, right? It can be a little bit difficult to manage, especially emotions. Like emotion, if you're not in tune with your emotions, which most of us, let's just be real, most of us are not in tune with our emotions. We're really not, right? So what's up, girlfriend? Oi. Yeah. All right. Well, we got kids in the room. It's the best. I love it. Hey, give me that. Guys, get. All right. Boom. All right. Here, what do we have here? Let's see. Can we, let's just look, let's just kind of analyze this together, right? So we have low, high, low, high, low, high, low. Break of structure here, right? Of this small time for 30-second structure, right? We have a break of structure. What can we expect? If we were looking for some more downside, looking for displacement, right? Into a fair value gap, ideally, doesn't always have to do it, but ideally, I also use SMTs as my manipulation move. So um let's see what we get. There's still really nothing here for me. I don't like any of this. See, we have, we're just generating here. Low, low, low. So we're just generating liquidity, and this could easily just get ran through. So we could just go, okay, boom, 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 and whatever. Like something so simple, right? Like that. Look at that. Done. Ran. So this got ran through. All of these lows got ran through here. All of these lows did not get run through. So this is another SMT. SMT there. Now, what I want to see, I want to see us displace higher. Can we displace higher? There. Oh, here we go. Can we take out this high point of liquidity? Remember this one? This is our, I think this is a daily, right? Was this our daily? Or was it a 4? Yeah, it was our daily right here. High point of liquidity on the daily time frame. Right? I want to see us move higher. So let's see. We took out. Look, we didn't. This is a huge SMT, right? Like all of this. There's a move higher. We just swept the high. So now let's figure this out for a second. So now we have exactly what I want to see. And guys, this is like, it's just exciting to see it happen, you know? I don't know if it was gonna happen. It's exciting when it happens. And you're like, man, that's awesome. All right, so we got a high time frame sweep here. Now here's where I'm looking for an internal model to form. High time frame sweep, check. That's high time frame point of interest, check. Fair value gap, right? We are inside of fair value gap. We've just swept the high time frame. We've also created a huge, let me show you this, SMT. Look at this. Even right now, NQ has to get all the way up here in order for it to cover this SMT, right? Because it's from this candle to this candle. Look at how up this is crazy. So I would almost take an entry here on ES. I'm going to take an entry on ES and an entry on NQ. Right? If NQ can move into, we have a 30-minute fair value gap here. Yeah, we do. If NQ can take out or can move into this fair value gap, I'm looking for an entry. Right? So here's what we're going to do. Oh shoot. All right. We're gonna let it do its thing for a second. I'll be right back. How do I turn off my camera? Whatever. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna leave you guys with that intro song because that intro song is fire. Boom. Okay. Boom. Can you guys hear that? Oh, let me take this off the screen. What is this doing? Anyways, that's the name of it. All right, I'll be back. Look at this displacement down, right? Can we generate more lows to run through? So we got one low here. All right, no, I need to stop talking. I'll be back. All right, we're back. We're doing this. Let me. Oh my gosh. Guys, when you have family, when you have kids. All right, cool. Let me see. What are we doing here? All right, we're still creating a structure. Like, this is what I want to see. Look, we have an SMT up here. No, equal highs. So yeah, that's to me, that's sort of a not very awesome SMT. All right. So on the 1 minute, we still, like, again, we haven't taken these. So now we have relative equal highs here. Still creating, generating some lows. Once we break structure, I mean, yeah, I want to see if we break these lows here, this basically becomes our confirmation to the downside, right? Why? Because we had this sweep here. We have a huge SMT, right? Yep. We're on a high time frame point of interest right up here at this fair value gap. We have, if you want to count this as a manipulation move, but again, I don't think I would. I want to see it really just like take them out, right? So just boom, take out these highs, wick, like basically wick around this area. That's what I want to see. There's a displacement lower. Guys, Celsius is one of my favorite drinks of all time. It's good for the soul. Also, here we go. Stuff like this. There's what would my risk be here, right? So let's just, I don't care about, oh, 300 bucks. Yeah, that's not bad. See this right here. I don't know. I love NQ. Just moves so fast. Let's see what the risk is here. 1200. Yeah, it's insane. I'm still like this right here. Again, to me, this is just noise, right? Like this. So this right here, I wouldn't really count it. Boom, boom, and this little one in there. The ones that I'm counting are that one, and that one. But look, we already took these out. We already took this point here. Oops, sorry. We took this low on NQ, and look at where we're at with ES. So again, it's just like one of those. This is one of those days where you just have to. You have to go in. You have to know what to expect. I'm not expecting much when it comes down to like the market actually giving me direction, but I'm still gonna take entries. My goal. Here we go. Like this confirmation number one. We'll get in if it breaks underneath, right? Where are we getting in? I don't know actually. There is no real fair value gap here. We have a bunch of volume imbalances here, but no real fair value gap. So again, just sitting here and waiting. Right here. Oh. So yeah, just sitting here waiting for a sec. Dun, dun. There we got this move up again. See, like if you would have gotten in here, just because you were like, I don't want to miss this, it's gonna break under. I cannot tell you how many times this happened to me. Good job. Good job, Gojis. Oh man, it is fun being here, trading with family. Yeah, you can get them. Go ahead. Here, I'll get them. Come here. Hold on, hold on. Wait, the cable. There you go. There you go. Go. Oh goodness. All right. Uh-huh. Again, we just broke these, right? We broke underneath. See how like this is just today. There's been cleaner days. I'll say that much. Boom. Okay. See, this isn't very clear to me. We have sort of this fair value again. Yeah, this isn't. It's like, who do I believe? Do I believe NQ or do I believe ES? Right? Like, it's so hard sometimes to just look at the market and say, yeah, this is what's gonna happen. I I I I, I didn't know. If I ever say I knew this, please correct me. I don't think I ever know the market. I don't pretend to know the market. I'm still a student of the market. I'm still learning the market. I am not trying to sort of get ahead of the market, right? I think I did for a while. I for a while I was like, man, I'm gonna get ahead of this market. I'm going to do what I need to do in order to beat the market, whatever. I'm still not convinced here. All right, like I'm still not convinced. Even though we have this structure here, right? We like, this is none of this is making sense together. So we just sit here, we wait, we watch price action. Guys, this is honestly, this is I decided, since I decided to start this, I need to figure out a new way to stream all of this. I have so much, man, people who live stream all of this stuff, it is a lot of work. It is a lot of work, and it lags the crap out of your computer, depending on what you have, right? So like, I know for us traders, we have multiple screens, right? And we have multiple tabs open and trading view and making sure we have the chat going. Like, there's so much that goes on with live streaming. I have a huge appreciation for people that do it. And if you are new here, I'm just, I hope you enjoy this ride. I hope that, you know, I can learn from you. If you can learn from me, awesome, right? But I'm still, like I said, always learning, always trying to figure out what the, not figure out, I'm trying to follow what the market is telling me to do. And on days like this, like I mentioned, we don't have much going on. All right. Like, maybe we have a market makers models here to buy into London high. Maybe we have a market maker sell model here to sell down below Asia low. I don't know. We'll see. We'll watch, right? So just look at this, right? We Asia low, we took it out. We're nowhere close. We're on the opposite side of Asia right now. We're on Asia high. I want to see NQ come up into this fair value gap, right? So maybe it makes sense that we get a market maker model to the buy side here, to buy up here, and then this just kind of goes and does this thing. I want to see more action in this fair value gap. That's what I want to see. I want to see us move into this fair value gap and start actually creating more of a structure. All right, so boom, something like that. That would make me happy. Even if we wick above it, I want to use all of this fair value gap. Why? Well, as soon as we do that, when we pull back down, if we pull back down, right, depending on where we go, right? So let's just say NQ comes up, does its thing over here, boom, pulls back down. Even if we just kind of take these lows, right, boom, boom, and then move into sort of this previous fair or somewhere, it doesn't matter where we go. If we just move maybe right here into here, right below Asia low, then that gives me a little bit more confidence. Oh, maybe we are going to go to new all-time highs, or we're going to take out all-time highs before moving lower. When we do that, I highly doubt that we're going to take out any sort of highs, or sorry, that we're going to go back to all-time highs on NQ. Highly, highly, highly doubt it. And what's that going to do? That's going to create an SMT here. And this is going to be this would be a crazy SMT to have, right? So let's just say ES takes out these all-time highs, NQ moves over here, you know, inside of this fair value gap. Cool. Then we would have an SMT here, right? Let me get rid of this, because then we would go, let's just say we go somewhere like boom, 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 boom. And then we do whatever. You guys get it, right? Market can go wherever he wants. SMT up here. And then let's just say we have boom, 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 and some weird structure happening here. Okay, and then we move into this. I would be really interested here especially if we make an SMT at these all-time highs. It doesn't have to be up here. You know, it could be like, let's make these, let's just say we get this SMT, right? Like boom, this low, whatever. Boom, break of structure, there, weird SMT here. Yeah, SMT manipulation and like that. And guys, don't judge me on this, right? Okay, whatever. All right, we get an SMT there. Say we get an SMT there. If we move this, if we are in this rally gap, this now looks really, really good for us to go lower. We have, because then maybe we're looking to take out these lows, right? And then we can see some crazy action to the downside, right? Maybe something like this. That would be maybe kind of like backwards. You get the idea. The market clearly doesn't move like this, but just an example, just a thought, doesn't have to happen. NQ could also definitely just rip for whatever reason, just rip to the upside, take out, and then they both take out all-time highs, right? And create new all-time highs. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. That would be really nice. But then again, I don't know. I would love to, like, maybe look at what we did here, right? So we went low, boom, we went lower, right? Look at, we have basically, this is where we're at right now. If we're looking at previous price action, this is where we're at in relation to that. What, so I want to see, it would be healthy, and I would want to see it to come and pull back into this area right here. That's what I want to, like, if price can do that, I would feel so much better for us to keep going higher. This is on a weekly time frame, right? So if we can pull back into this price range, man, that would give us, that to me feels and looks so much healthier than trying to keep ripping up here. Because the more we rip here, the harder we're gonna fall. Just, that's, you know, it would suck, right? Because once we get up here, like, we're gonna get so many people just getting trapped. We'll fall so hard down here, and possibly even lower, right? And this is where we could see sort of the quote unquote market crash that people want to, you know, freak out about. But since we're trading and we're trading the charts and we're trying to figure out, okay, what do you want us to do? What are you telling us? Then it doesn't matter where the market goes. All right, let's go back to the 5 minute. Let's see where we're at. All right. It's literally just doing the opposite. I feel like we're on an uptrend here. This is on a downtrend. What the heck? And just in this section here, right? From here, from this area, from here to here. Like, we're trending up, we're trending down. And again, no news Monday, no news tomorrow, no real big moving news, right? So maybe we don't expect much from the market today. Maybe we just sit back. Maybe, and honestly, I've been so, I'm so anxious to trade as a beginner. I think we've all been there where it's like, man, I need to trade. But now I'm like coming into the market thinking, okay, I'm gonna look to can I lose 3 trades, but can I do it right? Like, can I lose them in a way that I feel good about them? Or maybe can I just not trade today? Can I look for an entry? If I don't have an entry, do I just not trade? And that's really healthy. Um, so I'm grateful for all of this, the ability to be able to look at the market and just follow its signals. Mm. Also, I have been trading. So I do trade ICT concepts. I started with support resistance sort of stuff, right? That was my. I think everybody started with support and resistance. We all just that's what we learn. It's like, hey, there's support here, there's resistance here, and that's awesome. But to me, I felt and I understand. It helps me understand the why behind price through ICT concepts, and they are. It can get so complicated and overwhelming trying to understand all of these things. And yeah, I get it. Truly, I get it. Um, it's a lot. It's a lot to understand. It's a lot to figure out. But once I understood these concepts, right? So like mixing in what I've learned with, what I started with support resistance and trend lines and stuff like that, it makes a lot of sense. So when I see stuff like this, right? Like the market just not in sync with each other, right? Like so ES and NQ are not in sync with each other right now. Being able to sit here for a moment and let price move and let price do its thing, because we could get chopped out here, right? Like all of this, I guarantee you people are getting chopped out. All of that right there. And if we wanted to take look, if I was like, maybe I was literally about to just say, hey, if we want to take a trade and see what happens if we try to go long, we we probably would have gotten stopped out right here. Um, I'm probably going to trade micro contracts today if I do trade anything. Like there's literally nothing here for me. Maybe we could, yeah, no. See, there's like right here, there's nothing. We had break of structure, but this is where it doesn't make sense, right? We had we had this. We were looking for this model, right? We were looking for a market maker model to buy, right? Where? Well, to take out these highs on a higher time frame, which we did. So now what? Change your bias. Like find an entry to the downside, right? We took out these highs here on ES. Where are you? Right here. We took out these highs. We couldn't take them out on NQ. Huge SMT. Now we have a daily SMT. And this gives me a lot more confidence that we're going lower. We have a huge SMT here too. So remember this drop? Look, we're inside of that fair value gap. We just left this fair value gap here. So invalidated this fair value gap. This fair value gap continues to hold on NQ. What are we expecting to see? We're at daily SMT. So I'm expecting downside. I just need to find an entry. And if I don't find an entry, maybe just start going in with micro contracts, right? Because it is so out of sync right now. Like the market is so out of sync. Like SMTs everywhere. Swept this into a higher time frame at fair value gap. I would like to see us create more structure inside of this fair value gap. Same thing here. So if we can create more structure in this fair value gap here on NQ and in this fair value gap here on ES, that gives me a little bit more confidence to take a trade to the downside. I would still look for that here because we are on an NQ fair value gap, but again, it's so price is just moving all over the place. So this was something that I put right when this happened on Friday. Watch for 2-hour bearish SMT forming soon. If ES can sweep intermediate previous highs, which it did right here today, then we create that SMT, and we did. All right, so let's get rid of a bunch of these things here. Now we're ranging within that opening gap that we had way back here in June. And like you can see how valid this still holds. So opening gaps are a big thing that we can trade off of to figure out, okay, cool, is this valid? Is this gonna work for me? Is that not? So again, just sitting here, right? Like that's the most, I wouldn't say frustrating. That's the hardest part to do. Is like watching the market move, displace, go all over the place, and we just sit here. But honestly, like I think I've found a lot more discipline doing something like just sitting, waiting, watching for market to move than to feel FOMO and like, oh man, I gotta get in, right? Like right here. Even if it does displace lower, there's no, the market will always give me an opportunity, right? And I mentioned this again, we have no news today. We have no news tomorrow. Wednesday's going to be, I think it's going to be a good one. Why? Because we have NVIDIA earnings. NVIDIA is going to, I don't know if it's going to move the market, but it's going to do something, right? This is a big player. It's a big boy in the industry. And we saw what it did on earnings last time. It ripped and it ripped and it ripped. Can NVIDIA carry the market or here's my thought, right? Or will NVIDIA be the one to give us an SMT here at these highs, right? Will NVIDIA be the one that gives us SMT to the highs, NQ just ranges inside of this fair value gap, creating a market maker model to the downside? And is that going to be it, right? So like, let's just say NVIDIA misses earnings, right? You know it's going to rally up. You know this thing's just going to rip up. It's going to like FOMO kind of thing beforehand. Then if it misses, it will dump. And if it doesn't dump, which we've seen this happen multiple times, is when a stock just misses earnings and they still do amazing. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Okay. No trade yet. No trade yet. All of this, I could. See, I'm just gonna like, and this is micros, guys. Let's just say I go with like 2 micros or whatever. I would go in there with this. With 2 micros. And try to take this here. But why? Why would I do that? This is a, see, no. I'm like, that's the thing today. Like, just watch price, right? I was like, okay, once this thing goes, because we have low, high, sorry, there's a low here, and then I would have seen, wanted to see something like that, but boom, right? Displacement, break of structure, fair value gap, get in and take maybe these. I wouldn't take these highs. I wouldn't feel just because of where we're at with ES. And here we go. Now we displace to the downside. This again, it's like, all right, do we trust this? Right? Because look at what happened here. Where was it? Yeah, look at what happened here. We created some sort of intermediate lows, took them out and kept going. We didn't go higher, but we kept going. And so then like structure after all of this, structure just became super weird. Like from that, what is this, Friday's drop? Yeah. From Friday's drop, after this, all of this was just like weird, right? Like all of this market structure is just like odd. I'm looking at 15-minute time frame and saying, okay, what is obvious to me right here? Well, here's the obvious points that I want to see taken out. That one. Sorry. Nope, not that one. Golly. Where's my brush? That one. That one. And then we have another one. Yeah, those are it. 1, 2, and 3. Look at, so is this a new low that we're creating, right? That's the question. Is this a new low that we're creating, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Are we creating a new one here? Is that what we're doing? Or are we going to just rip right through? Is this basically our displacement to the downside, right? Man. Displacement to the downside. Let's look at the 5-minute for a second. What do we have? Do we have anything on the 5? Oh, we have this fair value gap here on the 5-minute. So I would actually, listen, here's what I'm going to do. Because we have this fair value gap, what's my, and I think we're not ready yet until we see something else up there. I'm going to possibly just take a single, I'm going to take 2 contracts here. What the heck is happening? Oh, duh. I'm going to take 2 contracts there. Boom. And these are micro. So this is not my position that I would typically take at all. I'll typically take 1 or 2 full contracts. But again, market is just, it's just doing all kinds of things right now. Right? Like, look, look at this point, right? We haven't taken it. Look how far away we are. Look how far away we are from here. We already took that point. Honestly, yeah, let's just get me in there. We're going to go and we're going to move our stop pretty, boom. Right below that candle, yep. And if we have the opportunity to scale, I'll scale it in. That's one of the things I want to work on. It's like, can I scale in? Right? This could just come up. Right? Boom, boom, and boom. And just take me out. And then are we going to displace just lower? Is this fair value gap going to hold? Uh, these are the things that I want to just ask. And today I'm not using it I'm not really using it to try to get anything out of the market more than just, hey, I just need to sort of use it as a market replay, right? Live, like live as it's happening, so that when I do get into situations like this, I can know, hey, market's not doing what I want it to do. It's not really responding the way that I thought it was going to respond, especially with no news. So maybe just, you know, back up a little bit, let it do its thing, take some trades where and see how sort of experiment, if you will, right? Um, like for me, this is not a place. Yeah, I want to see us move up higher and create some more structure. That's what I want to see. Are we going to take? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. And that is the beauty of the market. Oh, man. That is it. And I think trading with micros is just, it's so nice. Because I don't have to really worry about, oh man, like I'm down this much. I think I'm okay if I get stopped out. Like it just allows me to see price. Like 128 ticks, dude. Yeah. Yep. Yep. But like I said, like my risk is 3 or 4 times as much when it comes down to like full contracts, and my stops are not this large. I will try my best to make my stops maybe like 60, 40 to 60 ticks max when it's full contracts. And I'm typically trading 1 or 2 of those. But right now, I'm just letting price do its thing, right? So here, for example, right? Can we see a short-term market maker model to the upside? Maybe, maybe we can. Why? Guys, and when I ask these questions, like this is literally for me. I'm asking myself, why would we see this? How what's the reasoning behind it? Right? So we are on a 5 minute fair value gap. If I can get it over 5 minute fair value gap, right? We're still like, it looks like we're about to close right below it. 5 minute fair value gap. We're on an inverse fair value gap. We could try to come and tap Asia's low on ES, right? Or take this on ES. Before moving up, or just completely just start ripping to the downside. Like we've seen that multiple times before, where things just, I don't know, we're just decide, hey, we're just gonna start ripping to the downside. So we'll see. We shall see. And since we're so close, I'll probably just add like another one here. Why would you do that? Well, whatever. Right? No, not whatever. Yeah. Again, just watching. Just watching. I'm really just watching ES today. Usually I'll watch NQ, but NQ is giving me mixed signals. Q's not working for me right now. I don't know why I have these stops. Whatever. Anyways, I think we'll try to get Asia's lows here. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, nothing current. This is where I'm like, man, it's clearly we want to do something, but what do we want to do? Right? I'll take another shot before heading lower. Once we head lower from there, then I know that's most likely going to be right, guys. If we break this, then we're pretty much low, like going low. So, but I don't think we're there yet. I really don't. I mean, I think we're this. Yeah, this is a big drop down, but I think we'll have. I think we still want to make some more structure, create some more structure somewhere up here. So we'll see. We will see. Let's see what we do here. Wouldn't it be funny if we just come back down and just like literally tap this low and then just like rip to the upside? If that's happened to you, let me know. It's happened to me. I'm just like, dude. But this is why I'm going in with just 2 micros, right? Like I'm not risking much of anything. Like I'm just looking at price. I'm sort of just trying to figure out, okay, what do you want to do? Like, yeah, I know this. I don't know this, but I have a feeling this thing is definitely wanting to go lower. I just don't know that right now. Um, I'm waiting. I want to see this kind of create a, even if it's a five. Well, where are we here? This is where I'm just like, man, we've got this huge SMT here. Got this SMT, this SMT, and then we've got a bunch of SMTs down here. We got this huge SMT, boom. So it's like undecisive almost, trying to figure out where we want to go. And honestly, maybe today is one of those where I'm just like, whatever. And then maybe later it'll show some um some more some better price action. Because right now it's yeah, it's potato. If you took any trades, let me know. Let's see. Did you take any trades on NQES today? Question mark. Boom. Pin this. This is the only thing that I have in right now. Just basically see if we can. Yeah, we'll probably at least come back and rebalance this, right? At least rebalance, yeah, to that fair value gap. Are we? Yeah, that fair value gap down here. So we'll see if I see it like move up here to this fair value gap, and if it breaks through, then great. I'll probably just at that point it'll probably make some sort of structure that I can trade. At this point, I'm just like, all right, whatever. But yeah, so look, we took out. We have not, and this all started right in the morning. So we never took out Asia low. When this was up here in Asia high, this had NQ had already taken out Asia low and was trading below Asia low. So let's look at that for a second. This is where NQ was trading while ES was trading up here. And that's where I was like, what the heck? We took out Asia low. It just, things just weren't kind of lining up. Look at, so we had this placement down and then, moved our way down to take out this low. Never did that on ES. And that's where I was like, this is this is interesting. And look at this. So we have this point right here. Let me mark it. That high and that high. And then that high is right here and right here. So another SMT there, right? This is a bearish SMT. But again, I didn't have much of, it's like, I'm trying to like, where was my entry? This was such a weak sort of structure shift here that I didn't trust it. And that's the point, right? Like if I'm trying to get a little bit better at, if I don't trust something, go in with it, but do it with small size. Don't try to take a full contract, right? Like right now, instead of taking a full contract, I'm just taking 2 micros. That's it. I'm not risking, because I know the probability of this moving against me is a little bit higher than if they were both in sync showing me the same thing, right? So because that's not the case, then I'm not taking more than a full, like than two or four. I would probably take 5, like half a contract if the right setup shows up. But I'm not taking anything more than that right now. So I'm literally just sitting here watching price action, letting it do its thing. Let's go back to that 1 minute for a second. Here, let's see okay. Inside of fair value gap, 5-minute fair value gap. Can we break above for confirmation, right? Or do we create more structure? Like boom, 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 structure down. That's sort of a manipulation move if we have any, because we've had so many SMTs. Can we confirm with displacement up and then get in on a fair value gap? Or are we just going to continue ripping lower? Right? That's what I'm asking. That's the questions that I'm asking myself. And honestly, I think just talking to myself about this just helps so much. So it's not just seeing it and like internally thinking through it, but like seeing it, talking out loud, so I can hear myself say, hey, this is why I would take this. This is why I wouldn't take this. This is why this could work. This is why it wouldn't work. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm not seeing. Or if I'm not seeing something, and if you guys are, like, let me know. I think this is where I want to be able to have more eyes on the market, right? If I see something and it helps you, great. If you see something that helps me, awesome. If not, whatever. All right. What are we doing? I would not be surprised if this just takes me out, creates an SMT, and moves higher. Why? Because we've seen so many SMTs happening. Like SMTs, bearish and bullish SMTs, all today. So I don't know that I'm trading much. Yeah, I'm definitely not. Or right now, maybe in the afternoon, there'll be an opportunity for a or better structure. But for right now, I'm just trading small size, just going in. Um, Also, it would help me a lot if you do like this live stream. Um, if you subscribe, that'd be awesome. You don't have to, but I will be doing this Mondays through Friday or whenever the market is open. Unless I can't, I'll let you guys know. But I will be doing this Monday through Friday. Eight. The plan is 8:30 to around 10:30, 11. There's no real end to this. Um, and just live trade, do this. It's just my goal for this is two things. Number one, I'm actually this is something that my siblings can watch and understand what I'm seeing, and this will hopefully help them get, you know, start trading, um, and ultimately for me to just be able to see what's happening with price, see where see if what I'm thinking makes sense with what I'm saying out loud and what I'm seeing, right? Um, because the market is like you have to make these decisions so quickly. You have to be able to pivot and change your bias is like fast, right? And we're dealing with the okay, well, this candle just ripped down. Then oh my gosh, it's like so many decisions. So being able to see it, think about it, and kind of describe it out loud. This is why I would get in. This is why this doesn't look so good. So like even today, just talking about how market is moving so weird, like how it's just there's so many bearish SMTs, bullish SMTs, things are getting disrespected. I that just gives me it just tells me, hey, this this isn't clean price action. So don't worry if things don't go your way. Like right now, look, and I here's an SMT that's currently being formed. If we there we go. Now we're good. Um, don't be, even if things don't go your way, like it's fine. Again, I'm not trading huge size. Like I'm trading small size. Just kind of seeing what market's doing, um, and asking myself, why would I do this? Why would I do that? Right here, we just broke structure on this main point, but look at where we're at. Look at this. Look how far we are. This is it's 15 minutes. 15, there we go, 15 minutes. Look at how far we are from this huge SMT, right? Are we going to take these out? Are we going to just take these out, rip higher, take out all-time highs on ES, and then just rip lower? Is that what's going to happen? Okay, so now we have a high time frame, right? Even if it's in the 15-minute, high time frame sweep, right? There's one. Can we see a second one? This here is going to be a run on liquidity. Basically, um, there we have all of these liquidity points resting. Are we going to see these just get ran through, right? We have these two, we have three, one, two, and three. If this whole thing gets ran through, we take out three liquidity points and we have one left. But what do we want to do? I'm going to go ahead, consequent encroachment of this wick, create new order. I'm just going to put in two here, right? Because this is we're going to have to rebalance this at some point. At some point, I'm going to actually put it right at the body. Boom, right there. Yeah, at some point, we'll have to rebalance this. Like, this is what does it, like, this is the stuff that I'm just like, this is clearly not being respected. Things are just moving wherever they want to go. They're not, yeah. I hope that makes sense, right? I really do. I hope that makes sense. Okay, now we took Asia's, so we took Asia's low. Breaking structure, SMT. I want to see us move into this fair value gap here. Right, so whatever with that, this fair value gap, this could be an entry to go lower. Let's get rid of that. Now this could be an entry to go lower if we pull back into this fair value gap, which I will probably take on ES. I probably won't take on NQ unless NQ literally just takes this sell limit. Then I would possibly take a trade back down, but things aren't looking so hot right now. So just sit and watch. High time frame sweep. Here's our, let's see, what is, we got some new, what's this? What we got here? Cool, 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 cool. Yeah, see, this thing just, boom, to the downside. I, like, it's like, would I have taken a trade here? Maybe with the lower size, I should have. Right? But I don't regret not taking a trade, if that makes sense. I'm okay with it. I think before I would have been like, man, I need to take this with full size. Like, look at this. Oh my gosh. But I don't know. There's gonna, like, this is, even if it pulls back, this would be a great continuation down lower, because we still haven't taken out any of these points on ES, right? So 1, 2, 3. I mean, technically, yeah, right here. Technically, it's 1, 2, 3. We took out this first one. Yeah, this is where I'm like, man, are we going lower? Are we going higher? Are we going sideways? Like, what do we want to do here? What do we want to do? I need to get on dock. Yeah, that's what I want to see. All right, took out Asia's low. Maybe we'll go to this fair value gap here before moving up, right? And if we do that, then does that mean we take these lows here, all of these? Is that what that means? Guys, this is 2 minutes, 1 minute. Yeah, this is a wild ride today. It's a wild ride. Boom. All right, we got taken out there. That's fine. All right, this will be the last sort of, I want to see us take, we'll probably take all of these, right? Yeah. If we go down to this fair value gap here. Yeah. Let's go 1 here. Boom. We'll just do 1 there. And then once we take all of these 3 points, yeah. Then can we rebalance back up here with, and then I'll, yeah, it's like at this point, what the heck is price doing, right? What is price doing? What does it want to do? Where does it want to go? Maybe that was our whole liquidity sweep there from the big from way up there. It's like, all right, where's your entry? Who knows? Like this was worse than this. This was on Friday? No, Thursday? Where was Fridays? This is Fridays. That's about the same. Well, not really. This maybe. Yeah. Fair value gap there. Can we just hit it and quit it right here? 15-minute. What was that? Is that where I saw it? Yeah, that's where I saw it. 15-minute fair value gap. Right. So I feel like, yeah, I feel like today ES is showing a little bit sort of better structure than what NQ is showing us. NQ is showing us nothing. ES is at least, yeah, like ES, this is just, yeah, it's kind of, it's doing its own thing. They're traded into it, couldn't break midpoint of that. We took out all of these lows. So now the only low that we could take here is going to be London's low from what, 4 to 5 days ago? Friday. Oh, a week ago. From Friday. So this is going to be our last point of liquidity here. This is okay. This is where I think ES, right? This is what I'm saying. Like, if let's go to the 1 hour. We took out these points. ES has not touched any of those points. ES could move to take these all-time highs, while NQ moves up but doesn't reach all-time highs. It reaches this big fair value gap here, right? We got this inverse fair value gap, then we got this fair value gap, then we have this. Is that a breaker block in there? I mean, maybe. Yeah, we got this breaker block right here. Right, so then this would be a point that I want to see, that I would expect to see some sort of reaction on NQ to move lower. So yeah, sit and wait, sit and wait. After, okay, once I get stopped, or if I take profit here, I don't know where I'll take profit yet. I'm gonna see how it reacts. I'm actually gonna see how ES reacts around the Asia low fair value gap. If it breaks it, then I'll take some at this fair value gap, which is around that old week opening gap low. Or yeah, midpoint of this, right? Midpoint, yeah, right here. Above that fair value gap there. Let me get rid of these sessions. Also, let's see. Yep, we got nothing there. Cool. Cool. Yeah, just again, we're doing I'll be doing these live streams on every Monday through Friday. As long as the market is open. If it's not open, then I am not doing it. Or if I have something going on, I will not schedule a live stream. So they will be scheduled the day before. If you see it, then I am doing it. If you don't see it, either, then I'm not doing it. or if it's scheduled and I'm not here, and then there's some technical difficulties that I'm going through, right? Um, trying to live stream this stuff is a lot of work. It's also super laggy. So trying to, stream while having trading view and having monitoring the chat and like looking at all these things, I'm like, man, it's taxing on the computer for sure. And having two additional screens, like this thing is, yeah, it's doing a lot. So say thank you to my computer. It's awesome. um yeah, either I will get off as soon as this does something, or if my camera dies, which is looks like it's about to, which I have it plugged in, but I guess it's not charging fast enough. Maybe, I don't know. Mm. And again, reminder: tomorrow, there's not much happening. Um, Wednesday, I'm excited for Wednesday. I think there's gonna be more movement on Wednesday, right? I think we're gonna get a pretty large move because of Nvidia. All right, hold on. Actually, hold on. I'll be right back. So we'll keep this for a second. Here. Y'all want to listen to some music? Go for it. All right. So, oh, wait, what's going on? Here we go. So again, nothing yet. We're kind of just stuck here. Are we in a high time frame? Oh, right, we are. We are actually. So ES moved halfway into this whole move here, right? And then this is where I'm like, okay, ES moved halfway. ES is the one making better structure. I can probably count on this to a move higher, right? Or to a move into this fair value gap, right? This whole fair value gap, and then create some structure right up here versus what NQ is doing. NQ is just, it's NQ. What can I say? It's doing what NQ thinks it needs to do. So typically I will trade NQ. So this is micros, this is the micro MNQ. But typically I will trade just NQ. Today I'm trading micros because I'm not trying to lose a lot of money, right? Like I'm just trying to take entries, figure out sort of a market replay, like I mentioned. It's like, all right, cool. Let's try this. Awesome. Let's try that. Not, I haven't seen any real, like any model that I'd be like, oh yeah, this is a good one. Like let's get into it. We did have a couple of sweeps. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4 sweeps, right? Remember these? There's that one. And then we have those, we didn't sweep below. Yeah, we did. So we swept all of this. All of this is already swept. So we have a high time frame sweep, right? This is, which would be from here. This is our high time frame sweep right here. That one had been, so this is our initial. This right here. But remember, it's not correlating with ES right now. So just be careful with how you approach all of this. So right now we have a high time frame sweep. What am I looking for? I'm looking to see if we get any sort of from here. Can we create some sort of structure to the upside? Now, two things that I'm looking at. We're at the midpoint of this move right here. I think was that on the 1 hour? Yeah. So we're at the midpoint of this move here, at this fair value gap there that we saw earlier. So that's one sort of high time frame. I'm not super convinced about this because this is a fair value gap that got created in this range that was super weird on Friday. But nonetheless, it's there. Now we swept all of this, so that's a point of interest. So now we're in 2 points of interest. That's the one thing that's aligning right now, right? So we're in 2 different points of interest with ES and NQ. Now, can we see some sort of structure to the upside? What am I looking for? Okay, touched fair value gap, right? We're generating some liquidity up here. Like we're generating a high. I'm looking for us to either manipulate or just or an SMT in here. NQ, I am not expecting anything. So I'm looking for, so we got a high. I'm looking for a manipulation. So I would like to see us come down, take this low here, creating an SMT, because NQ, if NQ doesn't take it, we have an SMT here. That becomes our manipulation leg. Then our confirmation becomes this high here, back into this fair value gap, right? So let's just, again, price hasn't done what we want it to do. Let's just say this becomes our, no, where is it? See, we gotta wait. But anyways, once we take this out, let's just say we manipulate, right? We manipulate like halfway here. then I'm looking to get back around between the safest point is 1.5, which is this fair value gap. So can we move back into here? Or can we move back between 2 and 2.5 deviations to possibly back into this fair value gap, right? To see more structure, create more structure. This is what I want to see. Like cleaner structure up here to to fully just like, hey, we're committing to go lower. That's the point. Like right now, I don't see anything that says, hey, yeah, we're going lower. Sure, this is a huge drop, right? But they're not aligned with each other right now. So there's nothing here that I'm like, yeah, this is look, took this out, took this out, took this out, took this out, left it in place, left it in place, left it in place, left it in place. Well, this one doesn't really count. Left these two in place. So where are we going, right? And this is where we have to be careful. I have to be careful and say, all right, I'm not going to enter with huge size. Like at this point, I don't really know where the market's going. But I know that at some point, this move will try to at least go back and back to equilibrium, right? So back to its midpoint, whether that's down here and not fully at halfway or just below halfway, right? It'll try to do something. And almost thinking ahead. So like thinking, okay, why could it do this? What would happen if it does this? If this moves halfway, right? That is right above, let's take this out. That is on this fair value gap right here. That is the a previous week opening gap low. It could go here. Let's move that down here. If it goes here, then what? Oh, well, maybe ES will move up here into this fair value gap, right? Create structure, right? Or ES could decide, hey, I'm gonna keep going. I want to go for these all-time highs, and Q will try to do the same. Take out these highs, these highs, these highs. Oops. Eventually moving into, remember what we talked about, moving into this fair value gap right here. This daily fair value gap. If we have a weekly, that would probably be even better. Yeah, we do. Weekly fair value gap right here. Then we move into this weekly fair value gap. If we can move into this weekly fair value gap, can we create structure here and see us displace down lower? And can we create structure above all-time highs to displace lower? Why would I want to see that? Because then we'll have a high time frame, a weekly SMT, right? With confirmation that we want to go lower. What's the confirmation we want to go lower? Well, look at this. We haven't corrected this move yet at all, right? We corrected this move, halfway point. What was around right here? There was that opening gap that we saw. So that was the correction. We took that. But like this, we haven't done much of anything. Now, we don't have to. We can keep going higher. But if we do go higher, then I will expect us to move back into at least this fair value gap, right? So if we can move higher, right? It's just, right? If we move higher, something like this. Because even here, even if we mark this out from this low to this high, look at where midpoint is down here. I'm not trying to get down here. I'm trying to get midpoint somewhere, even if it's like right around here. I know that's not midpoint right now, but I'm saying if it does go up. Okay. Where are we at? Okay, 300 ticks. Cool. But again, this is one of those like, I got in just to hopefully see a correction. That's literally it. But I got in with 2 micro contracts. I'm not trying to get, lose a lot. But yeah, again, we swept all of these lows. So there's no truly, I don't think there's a reason for us to keep going lower right now until we move higher, create some structure, then we can go lower. Why? Because we have these lows on ES. We haven't come near them yet, right? So this is conflicting. It's like, all right, cool. We have all of this like open field for us to run. We kind of shut ourselves here on NQ. NQ just has this, which we could move back into this fair value gap. But even then, like I think I think the draw on liquidity is going to be up here for ES, and NQ is just going to follow. NQ is going to follow into this fair value gap. ES is possibly going to take this all-time high. All right, that to me feels better with the way that this thing is structured right now, with the way that price is moving. This to me makes a little bit more sense than for us to keep going lower right now. Ultimately, I do, like I said, I do want to see us go lower. And I think our catalyst is going to be Wednesday with NVIDIA. I think NVIDIA is going to do a lot. A lot. You know what? I'll take, no, we'll keep it. I just like, this price action is so different today. And again, we said it on yesterday's live stream. It's like, all right, I'm not expecting too much for price today. Let's see. What else? What else? That's it, guys. Like, I think we just wait. I don't think we're gonna get much. I don't think we're gonna get much right now. Maybe we'll get. Let me get rid of a bunch of this stuff. Okay, so we know, and this is, keep in mind, we just touched this fair value gap. Reason we came down here, fair value gap. Remember that. We're moving into age lows and fair value gap. This, we could potentially see us move a little bit lower, or just again, price has been just disrespecting almost every PD array in between, like in a smaller time frame. So we could just run right through this, maybe into this fair value gap, or who the heck knows at this point, right? Today's price action extremely choppy. Wasn't expecting much, and I think coming into the market with that mindset, just like, all right, don't expect too much, because there's no news, nothing's really moving. Things are just doing what they want to do. All right, I'm gonna take that off. 328. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm just not convinced. I'm not convinced we can even get up here. I don't even know where we're going. Right, we're approaching Asia low, fair value gap. We could see a reaction. I really don't want to give anything else to this market today. That's it. I think I'm done. I don't think there's anything here for me today, at least right now. Afternoon session after around 150, I'll check it out again. But yeah, this doesn't look very nice. If you enjoy this, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe. I will be doing this every Monday through Friday. As long as the market is open, I will be doing this trading, analyzing, kind of just sitting here with you guys. If there's something that you want to see, or you see something that I don't see, let me know. I'm literally, I want to make sure that ultimately, like I said, this is for me and my siblings. I want them to see what I see and kind of hear my own thoughts as well. So, but if you have an input, go for it. Go for it. Maybe I'm not seeing something, maybe, and I'm still learning. This is one of those things where it takes a lot of experience to, a lot of time, actually, I'll say that. A lot of time on the charts to start to see things a little bit different than just randomness, if you will, of the charts. If you took a trade, let me know. Even if the live stream is over, I'd like to know who took a trade here around all of this. If you did, or sorry, around all of this. If you did, amazing. I want to know about it. If you didn't, awesome. I want to know about it too. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you all. I don't know how to, should I just put my title screen back up and end it that way? Yeah, we'll do that. All right. Yeah, we'll see you later.